fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
In there.
What's up now, Bull?
We changed clothes. Yours are in your bedroll.
Light a fire, Bull. I'm freezing.
No.
Nobody around for 20 miles at least.
They said no.
What are we stopping for here anyway?
So we don't kill these horses. Get your blanket. That'll keep you warm.
Say, where'd them horses and clothes come from?
When you pay somebody to do you a favor, you don't ask too many questions.
What do we do now?
As soon as the horses are arrested, we'll head for Frank Clayton's place.
Clayton? That fellow serving life?
That's right.
I never got to know him. He's up for murder, wasn't he?
Yep. A cattleman was killed in a holdup. Clayton was arrested because he was a homesteader in cattle country. So a jury of big cattle ranchers gave him the works.
So that's the story.
The catch to it is Clayton is innocent.
Aren't we all?
I'm serious. Clayton's innocent, and this watch proves it. Here, look inside the cover.
Ralph B. Kingston. Say, he's a man who was murdered.
That's right.
Where'd you get this?
From a con doing time for horse stealing, Zig Bascom. He was caught with a stolen horse right after the Kingston murder. He had that watch. But the sheriff who arrested him never looked inside the case.
How come you saw it?
I was a trustee in the warden's office when Bascom was sent up. When he changed his clothes, the watch was with his personal belongings.
Does Clayton know about this?
Mm-mm. I couldn't talk to him. He was in another part of the prison.
How about Zig Bascom?
I asked him how much it was worth to keep my mouth shut. He sent me a note that he'd pay me off as soon as he got out.
Fat chance.
That's what I figured. But the watch and the note cinch a case against Bascom.
Somebody would pay a lot for them. Clayton family got any money?
That's what we're going to find out.
Need enough to take us to the border, at least.
Don't worry, Pecos. I'm not giving this away for nothing.
A few hours later, in a valley not far from the territorial prison, a masked man on a white horse raced along a trail at an almost unbelievable speed. To almost any other rider, such speed on the twists and turns of the trail would have proven disastrous. But this horse raced seemingly without effort, and its rider without fear. For the great white steed was the famed stallion Silver, and his intrepid rider was none other than the Lone Ranger.
You see, you come plenty fast, Kemo Sabe. Me guess you hear big news.
Last night, 2 of the territory's most dangerous criminals escaped from prison.
What their names?
Bull Harper and an outlaw called Pecos.
Bull Harper, him real killer. Me hear some of gangs still south of Rio Grande.
Yes, and once he organizes them again, he'll be harder to stop than ever. Bull probably borrowed money to bribe someone for a gun and horse. But he has no money now. He may do anything to get it.
Where we look for trail?
There were tracks as far as Indian Gap, where the trail was lost. But I found tracks south of there this morning.
We go then while trail's still good?
They probably rode all night. We'll have to go fast to catch up.
While the Lone Ranger and Tonto set out on the trail of Bull Harper and his crony, a day's ride away, young Tommy Clayton, the son of the innocent prisoner, was engaged in his morning chores.
Morning, Brownie. How you feeling, boy? Kind of cold last night, wasn't it? I have some news for you this morning. You and I'll have to talk it over. It's a letter from Dad. It came last night. Come on out and I'll read it to you while you eat your breakfast. Come on. Last night, Mom tried to tell me what it means. But I still don't understand it. You always know these things. Maybe you can help me with this. It says, Dear Tommy, ever since I came here, I never gave up hope that someday soon I'd come home to you and your mother. But now I'm afraid I'll be kept here until I die. I've asked Mommy to give up the farm and move away, and maybe someday you'll have a new daddy. Try to forget all about me, son. I ask you to do this because I love you both very much, and I always will. Your loving father, Dad. What I don't understand is, if he still likes us, why does he want us to forget him? And gosh, how can you ever forget your own daddy? Especially when he's as swell as he is. Huh, Brownie? No. You don't understand either, do you, Brownie? I guess we never will.
I'm sorry there's so little to eat, Tommy, but, well, we've been running sort of low on food.
Oh, that's all right, Mom. I'm not very hungry anyway. Kind of fills me up just to watch Brownie have his breakfast.
Tommy, I want to talk to you about Brownie.
Sure, Mom.
Well, you know that dressmaking business I started a few weeks ago so we could earn some money?
Sure. That blue dress you made for Mrs. Peterson was sure pretty.
That was a month ago. Since then, well, there just aren't enough people here who can afford to have someone else make their dresses for them. I haven't earned any money for weeks.
Somebody will want a whole bunch of new dresses real soon, Mom.
I'm afraid it's more serious than that, Tommy. We have only enough money to last us a few days, and... well, what I'm trying to say is, we may have to sell Brownie. I've already talked to the man who runs a stable in town, and, well, he's agreed to buy him for what seems like a fair price.
Mom, no. You wouldn't think of selling Brownie.
We have nothing else that anyone would want to buy, Tommy, and we have no money.
But Brownie, oh, no, Mom. Don't say that. Don't even think it, Mom. Please, Mom.
I know how you feel, Tommy, but we must eat.
Look, Mom, maybe somebody will come by tomorrow and want a new dress, or even this afternoon. Can't you wait just one more week? I promise I won't eat much. I won't eat hardly anything at all. Please, Mommy.
I suppose we could scrimp by for a little longer.
Oh, Mommy.
But remember, if nothing happens in a week or so, we'll have to sell Brownie.
Gosh, thanks, Mom.
Did you forget to close that corral gate again?
I guess I did, Mom.
When will you ever remember?
Mom, I bet Brownie heard us, and he came over to thank you, too.
Nonsense. You take him away from here.
Sure, I'll take him for a ride.
One of them plenty smart in covering trail. Many times him cross rocky ground and not show tracks.
That's why Bull took Pecos along. Pecos is a renegade who knows all the Indian tricks.
Trail leads south into mountains. Plenty hard ride ahead, Kemo Sabe.
As long as we can see their trail, we have an advantage, Tonto. Let's go.
Late that afternoon, the two escaped convicts, having ridden all through the previous night, finally neared the Clayton homestead on the other side of the mountains.
You mean that shack is a Clayton place?
Must be.
Don't look like you make much out of this deal, Bull.
Well, we've come this far. Let's talk to him anyway. You Mrs. Clayton?
Yes? What is it?
We got news about your husband.
What about Frank? Have you seen him? Is he all right?
He's been taken care of good.
Who are you?
Well, I wouldn't ask too many questions, man. I guess you figure your husband was framed into prison, don't you?
Of course he was. Frank didn't kill Mr. Kingston. He never hurt anyone in his whole life.
Well, that's what we figured, too. But the law says different. So he's in for life, unless...
Unless what?
Unless you can prove somebody else committed the murder.
Prove it, but how?
Sit down. It's a long story. But I'll make it short. I smuggled this watch out of the property room in the pen. It belonged to Kingston.
While Martha Clayton heard how Bull Harper's evidence was enough to free her husband and convict the real murderer, her son returned from his ride to notice two strange horses tethered in front of the house.
I wonder who those horses belong to. I hope nobody's come to collect money from Mom. You stay here, Brownie. I'll go around the side and see what it is.
That's the story. The watch and the note are enough to bring Frank home to you free and clear.
I can't believe it. It's wonderful. All our prayers have been answered. How can I ever thank you?
Take it easy, lady. This is going to cost you money.
I don't have any money, but I can talk to the lawyer.
It isn't for any lawyer, ma'am. It's for us.
I don't have a cent right now.
Have you got any friends or relatives who can help you out?
No, we're from back east. We don't have any close relatives there or any friends among the ranchers here.
What'd I tell you, Bull? We're just wasting our time.
I'd pay you anything if I could. I can't believe you'd let Frank die in prison just because we're poor.
Lady, it don't mean nothing to us if Clayton ever gets out. We need money. Pronto.
Have you got anything you could sell in a hurry?
Got a good horse.
My son has a pony. A purebred Welsh pony.
That ought to bring $150 at least.
How soon could you sell it?
Whenever you say. Today if you want. He's out riding now, but I'm sure he'll understand.
All right, we'll wait here till he comes back.
You bring it into town, but keep your mouth shut about it, or you won't have no son.
I understand. I promise I won't say a word.
She broke her promise, Brownie. She's gonna sell you. But we won't let her. We won't let her.
Several hours passed as Martha and the escaped convicts waited for Tommy to return with his pony. Meanwhile, on Bull's demand, Martha served them all the food that was left in her cupboard. It was late afternoon when Bull's patience was finally exhausted.
I hope you're not trying to pull any tricks on us, lady.
I don't know what could have happened to Tommy. He often takes long rides, but he's never gone for more than a couple of hours.
No sense in leaving without money, Bull.
They're not even.
Besides, I gotta get some sleep.
We'll both get some sleep, but not here. Somebody might come poking around. We'll camp up in the hills and come back for the money tomorrow.
Tommy's usually home by dark. I'll take the pony down first thing in the morning.
And don't tell nothing to care about it.
Not a word.
Let's go.
Late that night, as the Lone Ranger and Tonto followed Bull's trail, Tonto suddenly reined in.
You hear that, Tonto?
Me hear strange noise like cry of young one.
Brownie?
Young boy.
What's the matter, son? Something wrong? Now, don't be frightened. We want to help you.
But that mask, you're bad.
We're not outlaws, son. Believe me.
Him hurt, Kemo Sabe?
He has a slight bump on his head.
An Indian. A man wearing a mask and an Indian.
What's your name, boy?
Tommy Clayton.
Has your father ever mentioned a masked man who rides a horse named Silver and an Indian whose horse is called Scout?
Yes, he's told me a lot about the Lone Ranger and Tonto.
We met your father, Tommy, when he first came west. This is Tonto, and I'm the Lone Ranger.
Gosh, the Lone Ranger.
How you get here, boy?
We were running away, and Brownie stumbled, and I was thrown over his head.
Pony looked like him hurt. Him named Brownie?
Uh-huh, please. Can you help him?
Let me try.
Why do you feel his ears?
When your ears very warm, that mean him have fever. Oh, no. Oh.
Does he have a fever? Are you talking to him in Indian?
Quiet, boy.
Tonto will make him well again, Tommy.
You won't make us go home, will you?
Well, we'll talk about that later. What's wrong, Tonto?
Pony have cut on leg.
He must have done that when he stumbled.
It's not good young brave ride pony alone in dark.
I guess it was wrong. Is Brownie gonna die?
You not ride him here anymore?
Oh, no, Tonto. I promise. I'll never do it again. If only...
Me think Brownie get well soon. Cut hurt, but me kill pain with Indian salve.
Gosh, thanks, Tonto. Can I help?
No, Tommy. Me do it alone.
Perhaps you can help Tommy by telling me why you don't want to go home.
Well, it's because I heard Mommy telling two strange men that she'd sell Brownie to him.
Oh? Can you tell me what these two men look like?
Mm-hmm. One of them was tall, and the other one was kind of small, and one of them had a mustache.
By thorough questioning, the Lone Ranger soon learned of the Claytons' unhappy circumstances and of the visit of Bull Harper and Pecos. Meanwhile, not far from the Clayton homestead, the two outlaws waited for Tommy's return.
Kid come back yet?
Nope.
I don't like it.
Well, wait till morning.
From your description, Tommy, they sound like the two men we're after.
I hope you catch him. Gosh, if you only knew Brownie. Every time I forget and leave the corral gate open, he comes and bangs against the kitchen door, just for me.
How soon will Brownie be well enough to run, Tonto?
Not long, maybe a few minutes.
Good. Bull and Pecos probably visited the Clayton farm. Tommy told me how to get there. If I start now, I can make it by sunrise.
We meet you there?
Yes, we'll find out which way they headed after they left Tommy's house.
Boy changed mind and want to go home now?
The Lone Ranger told me I can never solve a problem by running away from it.
That's right.
After a hard ride through the night, it was just about sunrise when the Lone Ranger arrived near his destination. After tethering Silver in a grove of trees, the Lone Ranger, unnoticed by Bull or Pecos, carefully made his way through the underbrush to the Clayton farmhouse.
A masked man.
I haven't time to explain about the mask, Mrs. Clayton, but I found your son Tommy safe and well.
Tommy, oh, thank heavens. Where is he? Why isn't he with you?
He's on his way. A friend of mine is bringing him. May I come in?
Of course. Where was Tommy?
My friend and I found him and Brownie in the mountains. He overheard your offer to sell his pony to two strangers.
Didn't he know why I must sell Brownie?
Apparently, he didn't wait to hear any more.
Poor boy. You see, my husband is in prison for a murder he didn't commit. Two men came here with evidence to prove his innocence.
Go on, Mrs. Clayton.
Look. An Injun riding a paint.
Look behind him. A kid on a pony.
Yeah, but where'd that Injun come from?
Nobody ever knows, Pecos. You know why? Because that's a pal of the Lone Ranger.
The masked man that had you sent up?
That's right. I couldn't mistake that Indian's outfitter as paint anywhere.
Where's the Lone Ranger?
I got a hunch he's in that house over there. Probably sneaked in while we slept.
Looks like your chance to get even, Bull.
Let's go. Pronto.
So you see, I'd do anything to get the cash to buy the watch and that note.
I read about your husband's case, Mrs. Clayton. The evidence against him was entirely circumstantial. If Bull and Pecos are telling the truth, I'm sure your husband's innocence can be proven.
Then you'll help me. Those two men said they'd be back again today.
We'll have to work fast.
Why, it's Tommy and an Indian.
It's my friend Tonto.
Oh, Mommy!
Tommy, you're home.
Gosh, Mom, I forgot to close the corral gate.
Let it go for now, Tommy. Just let me hold you.
You find out where Bull and Pecos go, Kemo Sabe?
Yes, Tonto, they're coming back here today. First, we've got to get Scout and Silver and hide them before they can...
Too late, mister. Drop your gun, brother, or let the kid have it.
You two, Injun, throw that belt over here.
You two get over there with them. I forgot to tell the lady that we would camp where we could watch this place. After we find his horse, we'll have two more to sell in town.
What do you mean?
Where they're going, they'll need no horses.
Let's plug them and be done with it.
Just what I'm going to do, Pecos.
You can't murder them in cold blood.
Oh, no? Lady, I've been waiting 7 years to do just that.
Don't be foolish, Bull. You can't run away from the law forever.
You're the only one I'm tired of running away from.
How do you know we're alone, Bull?
Because no one but you two could have tracked us down here.
Possibly. But don't forget that Tommy has friends, too.
He's just stalling, Bull.
Am I? How do you know someone isn't coming to the back door right now?
Now, maybe somebody is. Take a look, Pecos.
Don't let him bluff you, Bull. Shoot him.
What's your hurry, Pecos? Are you afraid I might be right?
If you don't kill him, I will.
Listen. Someone's coming.
Where are they?
Where? Who?
The men who was knocking at this back door.
Look out that door and you'll see who those men were, Pecos. I'll pay. Now hand over that watch and note, Bull. Withholding evidence to a murder will be another charge against you. We'll tie their hands behind their back, Tonto, and take them into town and turn them over to the law. Now get going, Bull.
A short time later, the Lone Ranger and Tonto, after delivering Bull Harper and Pecos to the marshal in town, returned to the Clayton farmhouse with good news.
After we gave the marshal the evidence Bull had in the Kingston murder, Bull signed a complete statement saying how it came into his hands. The marshal says he's sure your husband will be set free.
Hooray! Oh, Mommy! Isn't that wonderful, Brownie?
Marshal give Kemo Sabe other news for you.
He said there's a standing reward of $300 for information leading to the capture of escaped criminals. He asked us to deliver this to you. He says it will tide you over until Mr. Clayton comes home.
How can we ever thank you for all you've done?
Thank the friendship of a small boy and his pony for what happened, Mrs. Clayton.
But when those bad men were here, how did you know Brownie would come to the door?
I wasn't sure, Tommy. I remembered you told me that Brownie often came to the back door. When I heard you say you'd left the corral gate open, I hoped Brownie wouldn't fail us. I merely gave him time enough to make it. Well, we'd better be going now. Goodbye, Mrs. Clayton.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Tommy.
Bye. Gosh, Mom, isn't Brownie wonderful?
He certainly is. And so are the Indian and the masked man.
Maybe someday I'll grow up to be like him, Mom. I'll paint Brownie and call him Silver. And I'll call myself the Lone Ranger.
Silver!